Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. Going to be tinting this very high technology 2024 Volkswagen Golf. Going to be put in 20% all around on this one, so it's going to look nice. The front ports, you might not be able to see it on camera right now, but the front ports cannot be done on this vehicle unless you remove the glass, so we're not doing those. Again, if you haven't seen a video of me doing a Golf before, I had said that the older versions, the older marks of this vehicle, the rear windshields are generally one of the hardest windows to do, but this one's going to be really easy, especially because it doesn't have much of a spoiler on it either. So let's get started. A lot of felt on these, so I'm just going to be taping them up. I'm going to wipe, but then I'm going to tape, and then yeah, let's do that. Clean, kind of expected it. It looks brand new. I think the customer just picked it up. This is very clean. I'm not even going to bother going in there. I'm just going to tape it right away. This is not long enough. These are very deep, like they go deep, so where the glass is, like where the glass comes up, this is a lot of travel for the film to make. So just be aware that a vehicle like this is not on the easy. You know, I've been wondering, what am I going to do with these videos? Like, what am I doing with this channel? What is the purpose of all this? Now that I think about it, I think to myself, the purpose of this channel, realistically, if I'm really being honest, the purpose of this channel should be about the journey of going from a small garage into a shop, going from a no-name tint business to a reputable tint business. And I should talk about that journey. There's parts of that journey that have not yet been completed. Like, I have not gotten a shop yet. This is my home garage. I live right up there, over there. That's where I live, back over there, just back there. I can see my house. This is my garage. It's a detached garage. Now, the plan is for me to get into a shop one day, obviously, because then I can offer my customers better service. Here, there's nowhere for them to wait. There's nowhere for them to hang out. So they basically just drop off their vehicle and then they leave. Has that been okay? Yeah, we've made it work. I've made it work. But am I leaving a lot on the table? Yes, and I think it has more to do with the fact that people, not everyone would stay. A lot of people actually would stay, but not everyone would stay. And the reality is that more people, I think, would trust a shop where they know if it's an actual legal entity or not, where they know that there are recourses and protections in place. Because, oh, damn, this one's tight. Almost there. This one's tight. What the hell? Oh, gosh. Volkswagen products. The worst to work on. You see, I cannot talk and chew gum at the same time, apparently, so I'm just gonna focus on this simple task of taping the damn frickin' seals. Anyways, so yeah, it is difficult. In a place like Calgary, it's difficult to grow the way I am trying to grow while being specialized in one skill, right? By being specialized in offering one specific thing, which is automotive window tinting. And that's where I want to stay. First of all, I like cars. I like the way cars look. I like the way I feel when I drive them. I like the way I feel when I'm around them. I like cars. I'd say a car for me is a kind of symbol of freedom. And being that it's a symbol of freedom, because you can basically do, oh gosh, go where you want and do what you want when you want. That's freedom, right? That freedom should be shared and should be freely available for everyone, in my opinion. What's the point of this? Actually, yeah, the point of this video is going to be about me talking, basically to myself, about the challenges of running a business like automotive window tinting in a location like Canada, Calgary, where it's very seasonal, and attempting to make it into a year-round thing with as little corporate partners, if you will, as possible. That's kind of the idea. Sooner or later, as it grows, like what I want ultimately is to get a shop that takes 3 cars at once and then just do tinting and dealing directly with the consumer. That would ideally be what I'd want to do, but I don't know that if it's possible. Calgary is a large city, 1.4 million people, roughly. 1.4, 1.5, something like that, roughly. Roughly 1 point something million people are in this city. So the question then becomes, because there's a seasonal aspect to it, can we stay busy, 3 teams working inside of a shop, 3 cars at the same time? So basically, ultimately, roughly about 12 cars a day. Now, is that possible in Calgary? Something tells me yes. Is it possible in Calgary dealing directly B2C, business to consumer, dealing directly with the consumer? Something tells me maybe not. It's possible, I'm not sure, but maybe not. And so then it turns out that I'll have to go and work with corporate customers or corporate partners. Now, the issue with corporate partners is the cost, like the margins. Our margins might disappear, but maybe not. If I can keep it so that even the corporate customers pay our normal retail price, which I don't know if I'll be able to do that. And I mean, corporate, they don't have to be dealerships, for example. They can be mechanic shops, detailing shops, auto body, right? They can be other people and not have to be necessarily dealerships. But there's some major challenges in Calgary because, again, seasonal. I mean, in the wintertime, these things would not be as easy to do as in the summertime. Right, so let's continue. Why is that such a challenge in Calgary? Again, when I've seen drops, so I've been in business now for 4 years. I've seen drops in traffic, and I mean online traffic, drop in bookings. I've seen drops in that around this time of year. So this time we're doing actually decent. We're at the tail end of September here, and we're doing okay. But I usually will see a drop around this time of like 60 to 70%. At the time, I did not find a good way to handle slow months and what to do with it. This year, I don't know when this video will be uploaded, but this year, which is 2024, well, I'm trying harder to straighten and balance out the ship so that even when things are slow, we have enough demand to carry us through the winter time in this garage, which has a heater, right? So we're set even when it's minus 35, minus 40 outside. If there's a customer who is, brave enough to weather, that temperature, then we'll do it, right? Some things I want to do here, I want to climatize this garage door. I want to winterize it, I guess is maybe a better term. It's got gaps in the bottom, which obviously is going to let a lot of cold in. I want to buy a heater bar so that once a window is done, I'll put the heater onto the glass and it'll just help that window dry faster so that when the car leaves the next morning, it's not as frozen as it normally is. But yeah, those are one of the challenges that exist from when you're attempting to grow a business in an automotive window tinting business in Calgary, in Canada, or in the northern parts of the United States. So you guys are probably feeling this too. Now, those of you who live in nice warm climates like California, Texas, Florida, I'm not saying you guys have it easy, but you guys have it easier. I know in Florida, you guys are probably dealing with something different. I don't know who's watching this video, but in Florida, tinters are dealing with something different because they have to deal with the humidity. And apparently, some films fail very quickly depending on humidity. Whereas in Calgary, it's dry, very dry. And so you guys might not have it easy, but you guys have it easier than, it's not seasonal. So you can tint year round without any problems. And maybe some of you think you're better than you are. because you have a lot of traffic coming through, and you think it's because of you, but it's not. We have all seen products and stores and businesses that have bad reputations because they put out bad products and they treat their customers like crap, and they still get business, and that's just because of demand. It's not because people like you or they care about your work. It's because there's no one else. So those of you who are in warmer climates, I would almost caution you guys not to get too comfortable, because someone who is coming from a more challenging climate can come into your area. And if they've been able to thrive in a challenging area, if they come to your area where it's not nearly as challenging to survive, then they'll come in and they'll take your lunch. So don't get too comfortable. You guys should be also trying for excellence, because people who are coming from climates like mine, we have to strive for excellence in order to even make it. And excellence is not easy. I hate that. I'm lazy, but I want to win. So those things don't work well together. You know, dealing with the machine is great. It is great. However, you sometimes have to deal with things. All right, so you guys can see the head, the plotter head. Instead of an ink cartridge, right, we have here the blade. This is the holder, and in there, if you can see that, guys, in there it's got a little blade in there, and there's a Teflon tape here, and for whatever reason the blade gets covered up in Teflon, and then because it's going in too deep, okay, still see that, but it goes in too deep and then gets covered up with Teflon, and then doesn't cut as correctly. So then I gotta take it out, clean it. I'm gonna have to replace my Teflon tape soon enough, because the cuts are gonna start getting screwed up soon. Anyways, just wanted to quickly show you guys what that looked like. There's levels to this. Even though tinting is a very basic thing, there's nothing special about it. It's extremely simple. But it's not extremely easy. That's the deceptive part of it, and that's why a lot of people start and then quit, and they'll just take it to the professional, because it's deceptively difficult to do. It's simple, just put the plastic on the glass, but the process of doing that and the delicacies of doing that make it deceptive. So anyone who's just like, you just put the thing on the glass, right? A glass is a glass. Those are the people who end up quitting because they don't understand what they're actually getting themselves into. As you can see, even though we put it in the process of booking that customers clean their vehicles, even in nice weather like we have now, as it's still warm out, the customers bring their cars in super dirty. Like, look at all the dust on this. You guys gotta make it easy. Unfortunately, you're coming to a home garage. I don't clean the cars. If I had my shop, I most certainly will spray down the cars and make sure that they're clean. Hell yeah. Cars will come out almost perfect. If I can, I would have a detailer or somebody who really is good at that, and then have them detail in these areas and really clean it out so that it's a perfectly clean canvas. And then we'd figure out ways to like really reduce the amount of dust on the inside, and in the inside of the vehicle, and in the inside of the shop. Yep, looking forward to it. Tell you. Apply wax. Never mind. There is a aggressive spoiler. And we definitely use the wax. I'm not gonna even bother thinking about, even though I know these are not as hard as they used to be, or as the older versions. And I say older, again, I'm talking about like Mark, I think it's, I don't know, one of the older marks. Actually, any of the older marks. Any of the older versions from like 2012, I think, and beyond, and back. Those ones are hardest. This is gonna be easy. And then watch it become hard. So anyways, why is it so hard to get a shop? Because Calgary, Canada actually right now, is very expensive. But Canada's been expensive for a while. So shops here, while in the States, there can be high traffic areas with a lot of money to be made in those areas, a lot of money flowing, and you would get away with $1 a square foot. Here, it's closer to, well, I mean, you'll see $12 a square foot. I've seen 20, and I've seen up to $30 a square foot. So it's like, does it make sense? And again, for like a shop of this size in this garage here, this shop, if I was to rent space like this, it would almost cost me $2,000 a month. Like, right? No wonder everyone who starts in this business, or everyone who's been in it for any amount of time, if they've been in it, you know, recently in the last 10 to 15 years. No wonder they're gonna be, you know, going into other services. Like the rent alone is stupid. Like it's crazy. And that's the state of things. And that's why my fiance wants us to move to the US. Because while we're struggling here, I could be doing the exact same thing, exact same work in the US and make a lot more. So it's like, how in the world are we supposed to like survive? And then on top of that, the amount of rules and like licenses and permits you got to get just to run your business out of your garage. Like Canada is looking less friendly to a business than I would have liked to have seen in my country, which is dumb because we have a lot of hardworking people here and you're basically making it difficult for them to be their own thing, to have their own business and hire their own people and do anything on their own. Canada right now, it seems as though it favors large corporations instead of small business, which is a problem. What I'm doing here is I'm just gliding the blade and letting the blade guide. It's in where the plotter cut actually is, and I'm just letting the blade slide on through. I'm not telling it where to go, that way it stays within the plotter cut lines. Just letting the blade go where it wants to go. And then I'll fix the dang plotter. All right, let's start with this rear windshield. Now, let's get back to it. I'm gonna do the top first, and then do the bottom. That's usually how you want to handle something with this little space, and more importantly, something with a spoiler of this size. I'm gonna first do the top, then reposition it upwards in its actual place so that the bottom then sits, and then do the bottom. It's so weird doing this because I'm literally just talking to myself. All right, I'm just gonna try to define my battle lines. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh damn, the line did go through. Well, that's what you got for being careless. This is ruined, so let's do it again. That's unfortunate. And we shall wait. In the meantime, I'm gonna go shrink side windows. And we're back. So let's try this again, shall we? Let's do this top half. funky master.